All right, let's switch gears here to the Reds. With 17 games left, they are still 3 games back of the final wildcard spot held by the Mets. The Giants are also a game ahead of them in that 4th spot. They are a game over 500 again at 73 and 72. Skinny, I want to talk about the Marty Brennaman statue, quite honestly, but do you have any thoughts on the actual Reds before we get there?
No, the season of frustration. So as we tape this, as you said, they're 4 back of the wild card. Can you just imagine if they had held on to the 3-0 lead or found a way to get the ghost runner home and maybe more on Monday? And with the bases loaded, nobody out in a 5-4 game on Friday, won that game. I'm not even asking them to pull off miracles. I'm asking them just to execute in executable situations. You'd only be 2 back. You feel like you have a legit 4 back's a lot. It's a lot to make up for this team that can't go on long winning streaks. And why can't it go on long winning streaks? Because it can't do the little things. And I thought this team was supposed to do the little things better, and they don't. I mean, they couldn't even get the guy over from second base on Monday night, man.
Just to be clear, they are 3 games back right now. The Wild, but still. But to your point, yeah, I mean, imagine if you're 1 or 2.
Yeah, correct. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's frustrating, but it's who they are. I mean, honestly, they're not out of it yet. I guess you could still pull it off, but it just feels like they're going to be in this situation the whole year because it's what we talked about last season and all off season, and they never really did anything to change it. So they're a team with good pitching, that's scrappy, that'll battle you. They're going to upset some people, some other teams that are in the race right now. They're going to win a couple of games against those teams, and it's going to be upsetting for those teams. But the Reds just can't win when it matters, can't win consistently enough, can't score enough on offense. They are what they are. We'll do more of that in the next couple of weeks as we get close to the end of the season.
Yeah, I got one more here for you. What in the hell has happened to Ellie De La Cruz in the power numbers?
It's amazing. I've never seen anything like it, dude falling off like this, especially someone so talented.
He's going to wind up with a pretty good season, especially for a guy his age. I mean, in playing a position that's usually, not a huge offensive position, it can be. I mean, he's going to score over 100 runs. He's going to probably drive in close to 90. He needs one more homer to hit 20. He doesn't run anymore. He doesn't hit home runs anymore. It has to be injury related that he's playing through.
I mean, I know everyone talked about the fatigue a lot, but it does seem like there's something more there with Ellie. Skinny, what did you think of the Marty Brennaman statue that was unveiled this week?
I'm happy for him. I think he deserved it. I think we're getting a little statue happy there at Great American Ballpark. I mean, it feels like listen, they do a lot of nice things, but it feels like they lean on the past so much that they don't care enough about the present of what's going on in the field. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah. So someone said that when they were bringing out the UDF 50th anniversary or whatever it is with the big red machine guys that they've got, the cups, they're doing that at UDF right now. It's like classic Reds. They're in the middle of a playoff hunt, struggling. And it's like, let's run out the big red machine again to get everyone fired up, which, I mean, I get it. You're going to celebrate your past and you're going to celebrate the best players in your history, but it does feel like we are stuck in a different decade with this team and constantly celebrating them.
I mean, I was Marty in my lifetime. If I said probably the 5 most iconic voices from my childhood were Marty Brennaman, Kaywood Ledford, Kurt Gowdy, who did games on NBC, Dick Enberg, and not of my childhood, I guess. Brent Musburger was my childhood too. Those are the 5 iconic guys I listened to growing up. That I know a lot of people don't like Brent Musburger, but again, when it's the voice of your childhood, it's hard. Like, you are looking live. I mean, that's how
Musburger.
How my Sunday always started as a kid.
Musburger to me felt like big games.
Yes,
that's absolutely. And maybe it's just because I associated that voice with big games as a kid. But yeah, I always felt that he was someone that was like iconic. With Marty, I was thinking about this. You will probably have a very different opinion because you lived through those great Reds teams. For me, when I was thinking about does he deserve statue? Should you put a statue of a broadcaster up? I think Marty is bigger than any Reds player.
I agree.
During my time.
No, I agree.
I mean, the only argument I think I can make would be Griffey and Votto. Griffey more so because who he is overall in the sport. Votto because, he had, in theory, maybe a Hall of Fame career with the Reds. He was very good for an extended period of time. But Votto, I don't think he would pass up Marty for me in terms of like being iconic or being the first thing I think about with the Reds or even being as famous or well-liked. I mean, Marty is huge around this area.
Yeah, I would say probably a generation a little bit younger than you probably would put Votto there instead of Marty, because they if they listened to games, they were probably in that he's a curmudgeon, he's always critical. For me, as somebody who went into this business, this line of work, just the technical broadcasting of a Marty Brennaman. And I grew up in an era when the only games on TV were when they were on road trips. So, my idea of the Reds back then was listening to Marty and Joe on the radio. And Marty always painted that picture for me, just like Kaywood Ledford did. Like, they were so descriptively good that you're like, I get people don't like when the broadcaster's critical of the home team. They want you to be the homer. I don't think that was ever in his DNA to do that. But he also, in big moments, rose to the occasion of being not a homer, but calling it with enthusiasm. And that I think that's the thing for me that I respect the heck out of him as a broadcaster. I think he's just outstanding.
Yeah, I think there were definitely moments down the stretch where it felt like, okay, you're a little too jaded, a little too critical at times, and that took away from some of the fun. But it's also the team he was covering. Like, the Reds hadn't, they were struggling. They were bad for a lot of years, and they're frustrating. So I think he did a good job of giving the fans a voice in those moments when it was frustrating to watch, that he was putting that out there on the air. I mean, I'd much rather listen to that than the stuff we're hearing on TV now, where it's always over the top optimism and everything's great. So
speaking of which, I was broadcasting a high school football game on Friday, so I didn't hear it. But my friend called me the next day and said Sadak, he was so over the top enthusiastic when they loaded the bases, and then he sounded like he was the saddest guy in the world when they couldn't get that run home.
That's how it sounds when you're that over the top with your emotion. It's just not for me. It's not for me. I'm sure some people like it, but I don't enjoy it. The point is, Marty, to me, is, like you said, technically incredible. I thought he did a good job of balancing the two, of being like, hey, it's fun when it's fun, and when it's not so fun, I'll tell you that too. But just from a standpoint of, like, do you give a broadcaster a statue and all of that? I'm in the boat of, with Marty, absolutely. I think he's bigger than any player in my lifetime. The one guy I left out before was Barry Larkin. Maybe you put Barry Larkin in a group there with Votto and Griffey of guys that, would be iconic, or I think of when I think of Reds baseball as someone my age who's closing in on 40 now. But Marty's much bigger than those names even, I think.
Yeah, I would think so too.
Around here.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And again, I mean, dude's in the Hall of Fame. I think the statue was warranted.
Yeah, the statues always look terrible. They're kind of like bobbleheads. They don't do a very good job with these things of making them look like the person. I thought Marty's was okay. I mean, that was pretty. It looks like him enough, I think.
Yeah. Speaking of bobbleheads, I wonder what they've done with the CES bobbleheads.
Dude, how about that? How incredible was that?
What did they end up doing? Did they have the bobblehead night anyway?
I don't know. When was it?
Maybe it's still coming up. I just know
I think it's still coming up.
Are you looking this up?
Yeah.
This had to be a canceled promotion. You can't give away a bobblehead for a guy playing in AAA that you couldn't bring up.
What a collector's item if they did, though.
It's a good call. Maybe next time have maybe some more established players be the bobblehead candidates.
Yeah. Christian Encarnacion City Connect was September 6th. So it was this Saturday. Did they give them out?
Well, I guess you honor Marty and give out the CES bobblehead. You honor an icon and go, here's a AAA bobblehead, kids.
Yeah, Marty Brennaman oversized commemorative ticket was also part of that promotion. Okay, so
there we go.
There you go. Did anyone get the CES bobblehead tweet?
I don't know. If you're listening to this and you did, please tweet at Rick Broering.
Yeah, send me a picture of the CES bobblehead. I want to know how good that was.